This is an inspiring story about a young girl who has suffered loss and grief in her young life. As she sets out on a quest to find her one true love to finally bring peace to her life. Sometimes, life throws us onto a path that we are not expecting. There are always lessons to be learnt from our experiences. But when we go through heartache and pain, it can either make or break our spirit. To think that we may have to carry this throughout our lives is a daunting experience. If you can only realise that learning to love and live fully is the way to healing yourself, and that you are not alone on this journey. For if you look to a person on the street, anyone can be carrying a heavy burden. We just don't know it. If you can ask a higher source for help, like God, the angels, the divine spirit within you, you can ask to be filled with empowering visions and manifest these into your reality. Anything is possible. You can be who and what you want to be. You can have anything you want by living each day with determination and purpose. Your mind is a very powerful tool. I want you to become that heroine or hero within. Empower yourself to be the very best that you can be. Do you know that fairy tales and fables from long ago, well, maybe they were once true life stories? Who knows? But wouldn't it be nice to believe that you can reach that ultimate happiness? Do you believe that you can have what your heart desires? You are a truly magical being. And with a lightness in your heart, you can step light and be fancy free to be whatever you want to be. All you have to do is dream and believe it. You are the character of your own life story. The world is your stage, and we are all merely actors. So why don't you get into action? You can have a piece of heaven on earth. But you must first have a vision. Listen to your intuition and take your victory. You may have all eternity to get it right, but why wait? Go for it now and be at one with yourself. Own it, seek it, and believe it. You are a super visionary, so go dream, believe, and make it happen. Go on. What are you waiting for? Once upon a time, in a far-off land known as the Dark Kingdom, lived a beautiful girl called Ada. This kingdom, she called home, was once a vibrant, thriving village full of happy people. One night, a terrible fire broke out in the stables and engulfed the west wing of the palace. What was once a majestic sight to behold became a blackened, charred ruin. Ada's father, the king, lost his wife and his son that night, and she lost her mother and her older brother whom she adored. The lights went out in their hearts, and all they had was each other. The pain tore away day after day as the castle fell to ruin over the years. The king did not have any money to repair the castle, nor did he have the will to repair his heart. He was a broken man. As Ada watched from her window one day, her father stood below in the garden, looking over the sacred well. He was getting so much older, she thought. All the years she remembered when he went there to counsel his wise men at the full moon, to plan and make promises for the people of his kingdom. They would all stand around this well and watch as the light streamed up from deep below the earth, and above from the light of the full moon in the sky, when all the stars would align and send their power down. The 2 points of light from the earth and the sky would electrify in the center. All of their swords were lit up like a golden pyramid of powerful energy life force. Her father, he was so powerful, and she imagined him to be the greatest magician alive. She was so very proud of him, especially when he spoke these words of wisdom, the great invocation of light. If only she could bring him back to be that man he once was, full of hope and faith. The panic rose inside her as she remembered the argument the previous day. The king was arranging her marriage to a man whom she did not know or love. He would provide great wealth from his family, and he promised to rebuild the castle to its former glory if he allowed him to take Ada's hand in marriage. She so wanted to see her father happy once again, but at what cost? She knew her father loved her mother deeply. Even now in death, they were true soulmates. How could he expect her to feel the same about this older suitor? The panic rose again into her heart, nauseating her stomach, making her feel sick. She thought of the impending engagement a day away. She thought of her mother and what she would say if she was here. As she looked out at her father, she could imagine her mother standing there next to him, holding his hand. "Help me, Mother," she whispered. "Please, please help me." The following night, the celebrations began. There was a big feast laid out, and when the drink was taken, soon the dancing and singing was underway. She remembered times like this when she and her very young brother would run with her and hide in the castle, watching the people dancing. The palace was such a happy place to be, filled with lightness and laughter. She couldn't even smile as she looked down on the festivities. and her husband to be blissfully unaware of her deep sadness. She felt that familiar fear creeping up inside her. She thought she would break out in tears. She had to sneak away to the sacred grove so she could be alone and pray. She summoned from her heart with all her might to the universe. How can she get out from this marriage? She prayed hard to her mother. She could smell her familiar scent of rose perfume that her mother always wore. She would make this perfume with her from the beautiful roses that once bloomed in this sacred grove. She was a true priestess, full of wisdom and knowledge. She would not want her daughter to accept this fate, not if she wasn't happy. She was like her mother in so many ways, strong-willed, ambitious, and courageous. She misses her so much, and she remembers the happy times that they shared together, when her and her brother would ride bareback on their horses, galloping through the woods as free as birds. Spirit was her horse, a grey mare, fiery temper that only calmed to her voice. And Victory, her brother's horse. He was sold on many years back after he died. She stored all these memories in her heart now. The tears spilled over as the sadness was too much to bear. A beautiful white dove appears, cooing gently close by. When she thinks of her mother, this dove always appears. She thinks it's a sign that she's around her. As she still prays silently for guidance from her queen. Please, mother, she pleads, help me make the right decision. Please show me the way. I am lost, and I need your guidance. The bird flies away, leaving a little hope in her heart. She makes her way to bed and falls into a deep, deep sleep. Her mother appears to her in her dreams. She tells her she must not marry this man. He is not your destiny or your true love. Her brother says her twin flame resides in another land many mountains away, waiting for her. She must leave at first light and travel to find him. She must arrive by the full moon in 3 days. It is the hunter's moon, and if she is to see her wish fulfilled, she must be that hunter and seek her destiny. She will be guided along the way and must trust divine help that comes to her heart and mind. She hugs them both tightly as tears fall from her eyes. When she wakes, she finds that she is truly crying. She is met with her mother and brother in her dreams. She is filled with love and joy on seeing them both again. As morning breaks, she dresses quickly and packs a little bag with only small needs. She grabs some bread from the leftovers the night before and flees to the stables, where she saddles up her horse Spirit. She flees from the kingdom before anyone rises to see her. She doesn't know her destination yet, but her mother says it is many mountains and valleys away. She doesn't know what she will find, but she was told to follow her visions and her dreams and listen to her heart. On the first day, she loses sense of time as she gallops wildly through forests and valleys. Her horse Spirit just knows where to go, and she trusts his instincts. She settles down for the night to rest, eating berries and whatever she can find to satisfy her hunger. She drinks some water from the stream nearby and lights a fire like her brother taught her to do when they would go hunting. She finds a big tree to shelter with her horse, and they rest for the night. She falls into a restless sleep. She has a vision of a black panther. He comes up close to her. She is frightened at first, but then he speaks to her and says, "Do not be afraid. I am your guardian spirit animal. I am here to protect you. Follow the path to the west where the sun sets. You will be divinely guided. Have faith and do not look back. Keep going." She looks into his kind green eyes. "You are divinely guided," he says. On waking the next morning, she remembers his words and hurries to get on Spirit and start her journey again. The panther said, "Look for a message in the glass. Head towards the sea." She rides on through a deep valley and endless forest. When as the day is nearing an end, she finally hears in the distance the roaring of the ocean. She will stop to rest when she reaches the water. She finally makes it before the sun sets and goes down the sand dunes and gallops along the shore. The water spraying up around them, giving them life force. She sees a cave in the rocks and decides that she will rest here for the night. She settles her horse nearby and makes a spear from a stick to catch a fish in the water pool. She will light a fire and cook some fish to eat. While searching, she finds a glass bottle washed up from the sea in the rock pool. She reaches in to grab it and sees a scroll inside. She remembers what the panther said about the message. She quickly opens it and reads the note. The flame shines bright within. Find your twin who holds the wand, and you shall both ignite the flame of love. She is so curious now and wonders, who is it that holds the wand? After eating the fish, she retreats to the cave and lights a fire, eventually falling deeply to sleep from pure exhaustion. In her dreams, she can see her father, anxiously pacing up and down, angry with her for leaving, and a frantic panic about the castle looking for her. Tonight, in her dreams, the snake appears to give her wise words of wisdom. She must be strong and courageous and stand up for herself, the snake says. She will empower herself to become the true goddess that she is meant to be. Gifted with divine wisdom, she will be an example to her people and her kingdom. She is to look for a magic wand on her journey. This will guide her to her true flame. She is on a mission and must complete it to achieve her special gifts. When she wakes, she is cold and tired after a restless night, but she climbs back up on her horse and they slowly make their way back up the sand dunes, away from the beach, and continue on west. She wonders how much further to go. Her mother said 3 nights to reach the Light Kingdom. After a few miles in, she reaches a small town and passes some people on the street setting up market stalls. She asks a man, is she close to the Light Kingdom? He says about half a day and a night, and maybe another half a day again, as when you enter the Light Kingdom, you lose all sense of time. It seems forever away. She is so weary now, and hungry, and honestly feels like going home. The friendly man asks of her journey to the castle, and if she is joining the celebrations. He says the king's son is to be married soon, and the announcement is to be made of his betrothed. Her heart sinks. She says nothing, but asks may she buy some apples from him. He takes pity on her and gives her some apples and figs for her journey. She gives one to her horse, and she is so grateful. She moves on, eating her apple. It is the tastiest apple that she has ever had before. After many hours on the road, a storm sets in. The rain is thick and heavy. She is soaked to the bone. She must stop and shelter. She finds an old unused barn and stops to rest. She eats some more fruit and takes off her wet clothes to dry. She pulls an old sack over her and lies down on the hay to rest. She closes her eyes but is afraid to fall asleep. She fears that she will not wake up and miss out on her precious journey. She is just about to doze when out from the rafters these tiny fairies fly down and hover above her. They are whispering. She opens her eyes quickly, thinking she's going mad. And did she actually fall asleep and is dreaming? She rubs her eyes. She's awake, one says. They flutter in and around excitedly as they glow in a mirage of gold dust. Wake up, Ada, we have something for you. A gift to light your way. They give her a magic wand. It is bigger than the fairy and it takes all of them to hold it. You must keep this with you at all times. It will let you know when you are close to your true flame. It will light up immediately. They show her how bright it glows. As she takes it from them, staring in wonder at these little creatures, and thanks them. They tell her to rest here for the night, that she must store up on her energy to give her a will to go on. The rain is down for the night, they say, and you will be fine to travel at first light, at the dawn course. The raven will guide the way. She is so perplexed by these tiny little fairies who used to visit her when she was very young. They throw a blanket over her that magically appears and tell her to sleep long and dream. She must remember the messages she gets. Just as quick as they arrived, they are gone, and all that's left is a sprinkle of gold dust, silently floating in the air. She is mystified as she snuggles up with this warm magic blanket wrapped around her and all her worries. She falls into a deep, deep sleep. She wakes early the next morning, refreshed after a good sleep. The birds are singing their morning chorus, and she hurries to dress, when she notices, beside her, the most beautiful gown she has ever seen, and a small pair of soft leather boots. As she gets into this beautiful dress, made of emerald green velvet, so soft to touch, with gold stitching embroidered around the waist, the neck, and the sleeves, and the boots fit perfect. They feel like slippers on her feet. She feels so powerful in this dress. As if by magic it gives her energy, a life force within her to drive her on her mission. She picks up her satchel quickly to leave and sees the wand light up inside. This is what the snake told her about the wand to guide her way. She is so excited now. She jumps back on her horse spirit and gallops away down the road when she sees the raven swooping out from the tree to fly with her and show her the rest of the way. She feels like a goddess in her dress and a warrior on her horse. Soon she will be united with her twin flame. She will know him because he too has a magic wand. She is anxious to meet him now. She is on fire, her heart ignited as she rides onto her destiny, with her long hair flowing behind her and her horse's powerful legs under her, taking them on the last leg of her journey. By midday, she has reached the town of the Light Valley. It is a beautiful place. It has a feeling of lightness and peace. Flowers grow from every window box, and people all dressed in colourful clothes walking about the town. The festival has begun on the streets, and she can hear the music and the singing. In the distance, she can see a large castle built into the mountain on the other side. It shimmers majestically and appears to be made from white marble and a gold roof. It is truly striking as it illuminates the sky. She asks the young boy about the celebrations, and he says that she must hurry to the castle if she wants to hear the announcement of the prince's new wife. Her heart now sinking and her tummy flips in a somersault. Is she too late, she wonders? The panic drives her on as she gallops off, wondering how will she get in the gates. She has come so far now on her mission. She cannot give up. The fairies told her that her twin flame will know at the right time. She must follow the guidance of her heart. Listen to it, speak to her. She crosses the bridge and arrives up to the walls of the kingdom to find no guards, and the gates are open. Everyone is in high spirits as the festivities begin, drawing crowds of people in. She asks a young girl in the crowd, "Did I miss the announcement?" The girl shouts up to her that the prince is gone missing and cannot be found. He is to be choosing his wife today, but because he doesn't love her and he hasn't found his true love, his father, the king, has chosen one for him. She smiles to herself. Doesn't that sound familiar? Her wand lights up now. She is close. She must find him quickly. Leaving her horse in the courtyard, she makes her way up some marble steps and through the main entrance. She is struck by the likeness in the great hallway. The light streams in from every window, high up on the ceilings, reflecting and bouncing its light everywhere. There is a fountain in the centre, and she drinks some water to quench her thirst. She's nearly there. Her heart beats fast, like the drums in the distance. She is so excited and nervous at the same time. With her wand in her hand, she starts to walk. It is pulsating, guiding her way. There is no one to ask directions, so she starts to run up a long corridor with many doors leading off. She continues past arches that look out onto orange groves, and at the end she climbs more steps to a larger door that is slightly ajar, and the light streams through. As soon as she thinks to go in, her wand lights up brightly. Her thoughts seem to reflect into the wand. She decides to step inside gently and holds her breath in awe. It is stunning in splendor. Rich tapestries adorn the walls, bookshelves from ground to ceiling, heavy drapery from ceiling to floors. Candlelight on every wall flickers gently, throwing light onto the flowers that fill the room with this beautiful fragrance. A large banquet table has been laid out on the other side of this room, and there are 2 thrones. This massive window made of coloured glass lets light from the moon pour through, turning the room into a kaleidoscope of brilliant colour. It is truly magical. She runs up to the window. She looks out on a beautiful courtyard. There are white and pink roses adorning the bushes and lemon trees everywhere. In the centre, she sees a stone well, just like the one from home. A man stands looking into it. It must be him. Her heart skips a beat. Her wand is so bright now, as her heart is bursting. She notices a name written in the wand. As it lights up his name, Adon. It's him. That's his name. She must find a way down to him. He looks pensive, deep in thought, and quite sad. She goes through a small door. which leads her down a third of winding steps into the courtyard. The smell of lemons and roses fills her nostrils. She stops and is frozen for a split second as she takes in this vision before her. He is holding the replica of her wand in his hand, as if ready to throw it down the well. "Wait, wait," she yells. He looks up with tears in his eyes. His sadness turns to awe as he is stunned by her beauty. She has illuminated the courtyard with her presence. He sees her glowing wand in her hand. "I am here. It is me you are looking for. I am Ada." He sees Ada's name written on his, both glowing as they move tentatively towards each other. No words spoken, just a look as eyes first meet, when the merging of two bright souls are joining to make one. They wrap their arms around each other, melting as one heart, one flame. They will be a shining light of all unity, for all to see. Together, they place their wands over the well of life, and as the two energies merge, a strong force comes around them, swirling faster as it intensifies and envelops them. It wipes away all their troubles and sadness in their hearts. The moon is almost in full glow now, and as the light streams forth, this powerful electric bolt of lightning streams up from the well of life, meeting this energy from the moon and pouring out an electrical force into the atmosphere of the night sky. All the stars are illuminated in its energy, spreading like particles of gold dust and rainbows of colours across the land. They are both empowered in this energy of light as it touches their souls. They harmonise and zinc together. The feeling is euphoric. As they stand over this well of life, together they recite the great invocation of light that their forefathers would recite to ignite this flame. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of men, women, and children. Let light descend on earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of humankind. From the centre, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the little wills of humanity, the purpose which the masters know and serve. From the centre, which we call the race of humanity, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it seal the door where evil dwells. Let light and love and power restore this plan on earth. There is no difficulty that enough love will not conquer, no disease that enough love will not heal. There is no door that enough love will not open, and no gulf that enough love will not bridge. No wall that enough love will not throw down, and no sun that enough love will not redeem. It makes no difference how deeply sealed may be the trouble, or how hopeless the outlook, how muddled the tangle, or how great the mistake. A sufficient realization of love will dissolve it all. If only you could love enough, you would be the happiest and most powerful being in the world.